Hello everyone. Welcome to Mindful Wanderer Journeys Within. I know it's been a while, quite a while, since I have been on and done a podcast session with all of you. And before I get into my main topic of today, I just wanted to give a little encouragement, or should I say a lot of encouragement, to people who sometimes need a pause in their life. That's exactly what I did. I took a pause from the podcast and a few other things because I needed to attend to some self-care in my life. And I just want you to know that it's perfectly okay. You don't need a permission slip to take a pause in your own life. Sometimes there are situations in your life that need to take priority over some of the tasks that you have, and it's perfectly okay. It is perfectly okay to do that. And I was able to get my own mojo back, and sometimes too, as a creative and a creator, you have these creative blocks along the way, and at times you just need to take a pause to be able to get back to that creative spirit again. So I am back, and I am thrilled to be back again. So anyway, my topic that I wanted to talk about mainly today is about saving money. Now, I know right now there's a lot to saving, and I was in the store recently getting my groceries, and there was a lady in front of me who she had this big cart full of groceries, and I'm just standing there wondering how much this order is going to come to. And I heard her say to the cashier that, I never paid attention to prices before, and I never paid attention to using coupons, but with everything being so expensive now, now I use coupons. And I'm thinking to myself, I have been using coupons all of my life. My mom and I always use coupons. And I know some people, at times I've said something about using coupons at the store, and people are like, I don't have time to do that. But really, it's worth it. Every week when our grocery flyer comes in, the first thing we do is we look at what's on sale. We make a list of what we want to have for the week, and sometimes it's every couple weeks, but we make a list of what we want. And we're not big on brands. We're perfectly fine with using the store brand of a lot of things. The only thing that I remember that we got the store brand with that wasn't too good was cornflakes. So we always stick with Kellogg's with that. But, that's just one item. But, it's worth it. And it's funny because every time I go to the store and I get my receipt, first thing I do is look at how much I saved, and I come home and it's a little joke with my mom. I'll be like, oh, I saved such and such at ShopRite today. And she's like, did you make an announcement at the store about it? I'm like, I sure did. So, I didn't, but, but it's a feeling of accomplishment too, when you know that humidity is bad today and I'm sweating. So anyway, it's a feeling of accomplishment when you go to the store and you see that you've saved like $20, $30, whatever it is. And I'll take the time too to sometimes, like, there's an item that there's like 10 million of them to choose from, and I will take the time to look through to see which is the least expensive. And I'll tell you, it has saved so much money for us. It really has. There's digital coupons, there's in-store coupons. There are just some items that are on sale. We actually went to another place and got 12 dozen eggs for a little over $3. So we were excited about that because eggs have been expensive, very expensive. So that's just one way of being able to save money for you and your families, is take that time to use the coupons, get as much as you can with the store brand and not the big brands. And to me, it's fun. To me, it's fun to see where I can save the most, and it's definitely worth it. Like, I had to buy half and half the other day, And there's different half and halves, and I finally found one that was within what I wanted to spend. So I mean, it's definitely worth the extra time to do that. So another thing I want to talk about with saving money too is something that I'm sure a lot of people are doing already, but definitely thrift shopping. We have a couple of really great thrift shops in our area, and they also benefit the community in a lot of ways. We have one that benefits um, the homeless in the community, and also people who are going to food banks, and the money that is spent at the thrift shops, it benefits getting food in for the people to be able to get food for the week or the month or whatever it is. So, but I mean, we have gone into these thrift shops and we have found some amazing, amazing items. Um, I mean, my mom got a shirt that was only like $2, and I mean, it looks like it came out of a regular store. I mean, it's worth it. And you can sometimes find items too that could cost a ton of money in another store. Like for example, we had a party that we were going to. It was in May. It was for a 50th anniversary celebration. So we were looking around, and just for the heck of it, we went into this thrift shop and looked around. And my mom asked the one volunteer who was there and said, "Would you happen by chance to have anything for a 50th anniversary?" And the woman was like, "Oh my God, you won't believe it. We have something in the back, and I just was wondering what I was going to do with that." So she runs back real excited, and she comes back. Well, it was this gorgeous, gorgeous music box and a globe. It was a combination music box globe, and it had a beach theme, which my friend lives by the beach, so it just worked out perfectly. And it said happy 50th anniversary. So, and I mean, what we paid for it probably would have been mucho buckos in another store. And not that I'm saying don't ever buy something regular price or don't go in other stores. I'm not saying that at all. But it's just that people these days are like, how can I save money? How can I make money go a little further? Like somebody once said to me that my superpower was making a modest amount of money go a long way. Well, I've had a lot of experience at it. It's something that I'm very proud of. So, but I mean, that was just a perfect example of, I mean, we could have gone in another store and probably spent buco amount of money on the very same item that we just went into a thrift shop and asked. So it really went very well. So that, I mean, so that's another way. And also too, with the thrift shops, they're always using or always looking for reusable bags. And people, that's another thing. People are always wondering, what do I do with all these reusable bags? Well, instead of throwing them out and taking up space in the landfill, the thrift shops are always looking for reusable bags to use, and they use them for the food banks and everything else. So it's just a way of giving back also. So another thing I want to talk about with saving money is with activities, and because again, people these days are looking for ways of saving money but still having a good time, and it is possible to do that. One thing that my mom and I love doing every summer is it's called where we live, it's called the Ocean County Carousel of Music, and it's a bunch of free concerts that are given by different groups and bands throughout the summer, and they're usually held at the library or at one of our local parks, and a couple of parks really, and they're absolutely free, and they're wonderful. We've been going for a few years now, and they're usually an hour, and it's just a nice way of spending an afternoon or an evening. And especially when the sun is setting, it's just beautiful to be looking at the sun setting or being in a park setting and just listening to beautiful music, and you don't have to pay a dime for it. So that's a great way of saving money. There are tons of websites to go on to look for either free activities to do or activities that cost very little. I mean, you could go on to tourism sites, you can go on to event sites, or you can even just Google free events in your area, and it will bring up a bunch of websites you know, to give you that access to be able to look at those sites. So, I mean, there's so many different ways of being able to save money. And I just can't stress enough that it takes time to do it. It takes the time to go through, like I said, with the coupons, going through with that. And then taking time to research on the internet for the free activities. But and also to your local library, they have tons of activities too that are usually free. And there's a lot of good ones through the parks that cost very little amount to go, but they're worth it. They have a lot of camps, they have all kinds of craft activities, they have health and wellness activities. So there's really a lot to do, and you don't have to pay a lot out of pocket for them, or sometimes you don't have to pay anything at all. So that's my topic for today. I just wanted to give you some ideas for that. And I really hope that this has helped. And it's definitely something that has helped me and my mom. So, anyway, I hope you have a wonderful day. And I'm so happy to be back. And I look forward to being back again. All right. Have a wonderful evening.